Howdy readers, I'm Jason. This is Chapter and Verse, and let me just start by saying welcome to those of you who are new. And there are a lot of you, which is really exciting for me. Over the last 2 or 3 months, it seems like my channel has come back to life, I suppose, after maybe 3 or 4 months of no growth at all, really, in subscriber count. And I'm not sure why. It's growing again, but I'm glad that it is. And again, I welcome all of you who are new. So today we're going to be doing a few things. I'm going to be announcing 2 giveaways in honor of having recently passed 1,000 subscribers. And I'm going to be doing 3 shoutouts to smaller channels that I think deserve vastly larger audiences. However, before we get to the giveaways and the shoutouts, I wanted to touch on a couple of things first. So since passing 1,000 subscribers, I now have the community tab on my channel's main page. You can't access the community tab if you're on an iPad for some stupid reason, but you can access it if you're on your iPhone or a Mac or a PC, maybe even an Android, I'm not sure. But I just wanted to let you all know that in that community tab, I have put up a poll, and I would love and appreciate if all of you could just click on that community tab real quickly and cast a vote in that poll. And you can read about what the poll is when you're in there and why I'm doing it and whatnot. But that would be tremendously helpful to me. The second thing I wanted to touch on is slightly confusing, but I'll do my best. So basically, when you go to a BookTube channel, okay, you've got those tabs at the top, right? I just told you about the community tab. And there's a tab, I think it's called Channels. And when you click on it, it shows you the other channels that BookTuber is subscribed to. Now, some channels have their subscriptions set to private. So when you click on their Channels tab, it says this channel does not feature any other channels. Now I know that there are obviously good reasons to keep the channels that you subscribe to private, but I wanted to encourage everybody to consider making their subscriptions public, so that when people visit your channel, they can click on that channels tab and see what other booktubers you really love. And the reason why I'm encouraging people to do that is because in my experience, that is how I find most of the channels I really like. So if I land on this BookTube channel and I really like this creator's content, I think that they're smart and their tastes seem to really line up with mine. The best way for me to find other channels like that is to see what channels that booktuber subscribes to. And I'll go through their list, and I'll click on a handful of channels and watch a few videos, and I'll find maybe 3 booktubers that I really, really like, and I'll start watching them regularly. I find that to be the best way of discovering new channels, the most fruitful way of discovering new channels. And so I would just encourage all of you who have your subscription set to private, this channel does not feature any other channels, to reconsider for that reason, just because when people land on your channel, if they really like you, odds are they're going to really like a lot of the people that you subscribe to, and they can't know who you're subscribing to unless you show them, unless you make it public for them. So just my 2 cents on that. Now, in honor of having hit 1,000 subscribers recently, I'm giving away a copy of The English Patient by Michael Ondaatje, which is one of my favorite books. I've read this, I don't know how many times, at least 3 times. I want to say 4 times. It's beautiful. It's perfect. And if you haven't read it, especially if you're an admirer of poetry, my hunch is you're going to really love this as well. So I'm going to give away 1 copy of this. And I'm also going to give away a copy of the complete stories of Flannery OConnor with this gorgeous peacock cover. Flannery OConnor was obsessed with peacocks, from what I understand. I think she kept them. She had numerous peacocks and peahens on her property. I heard stories that they would hang out on her roof. I'm not sure if that's apocryphal or if that's true, but anyhow, going to be giving away a copy of her complete stories. So if you want to enter to win one of these books, all you need to do is leave a comment below this video letting me know which book you would like to be entered to win. I'm going to run this giveaway through Sunday, November 3rd at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. That's my time. And it's open to anyone, even if you're living overseas. I don't mind. I will send your book to you overseas. I'm going to use a random number generator to decide the winners. So essentially everybody who enters, I'm going to assign that person a number. And then just have the number generator determine who the winner is when the time comes. So, yeah, let me know below if you want to enter to win one of those books. And lastly, the shoutouts. Okay, so there are 3 channels. Well, there are a lot more channels than just 3 that I've discovered recently. And if you want to know all of the channels that I subscribe to and really like, please check out my channels tab above. But 3 of the channels that I have discovered recently that I really, really like and that deserve much bigger audiences than they have. All of these channels have fewer than 1,000. I think 2 of the channels have fewer than 500 subscribers. But I wanted to sing their praises. Now, the first of these is Brian at Book Wanting. The name of his channel is Book Wanting. When I first discovered his channel, I watched his newbie tag, and I realized that Brian was a booktuber after my own heart when he said, and I quote, "Sometimes I turn to books to confirm that people are as horrible as I think they are, but also that they are as amazing as I think they are." And that really could have been describing me. I feel that way as well, and I turn to books for those reasons. It's just when I'm out driving and I see people running stop signs and I see people leaving their shopping carts in the parking lots to run into vehicles, just little things like that, not to mention how people seem to be voting across the world over the last however many years. My faith in humanity is sometimes tested, and books often confirm for me that humanity isn't all that in a bag of chips. But they also confirm for me that people are a lot more resilient, beautiful, and worthy of my consideration than trips to the grocery store often convince me that they are. If that made any sense. Second channel is Elliot Riley. Now, she is a musician, she is an aspiring stand-up comic, and she has videos about music and about stand-up comedy and about lucid dreaming. She has a lot of videos about lucid dreaming. Anyway, over the last month or so, she has begun making booktube videos, and she is incredibly comfortable in front of the camera. She's incredibly articulate, and yeah, she's got some great stuff up, including her newbie tag, a video on surviving NaNoWriMo, for those of you who are getting ready to do that, you might want to give that a look, and a 26-minute takedown of David Foster Wallace's Infinite Jest. And the third booktuber is Erin, and her channel is called With the Classics. Now, Erin is working on her PhD in English literature, if I'm not mistaken. Most of her videos tend to be about the classics, but she also has some really cool videos on academia, right? What life as a PhD student is like, advice on surviving graduate school, for lack of a better way to put it. So for those of you, especially who are in grad school or who are in a doctoral program, or who have really fond memories of having been in a doctoral or master's program in the past, yeah, give her channel a look. Or if you're just a fan of classics. All 3 of these booktubers are incredibly sharp. They have incredibly good taste. And the most important thing for me is that they seem to be completely authentic, right? Most of us here in this corner of the BookTube sandbox, BookTube 2.0, Literary BookTube, goes by a number of different names. We tend to be allergic to those hyper-manic booktubers who tend to be all about show. And we tend to see that mostly in the kind of YA corners of BookTube. These are not those booktubers. These are people who, like I said, are articulate, they are real, They are lovely, and when I watch their videos, I absolutely love spending time with them. These are people I'd like to know in real life. So anyway, check out their channels. I will leave links to them in the description box below. Again, remember to go to my community tab and vote in my poll. And if you want to win one of these two books, The English Patient or Flannery O'Connor's stories, let me know in the comments below which one you'd like to be entered to win, and you just might. So I hope you guys are having a good weekend. I'm going to go upstairs right now and read some more of The War of the World by H.G. Wells, which I am absolutely loving. I'm finding it a much better book than his novel, The Time Machine. I might be in the minority on that. I'm not sure, but I also don't care if that's true. And I will talk to you guys again very soon. Adios.